Welcome back, my darlings. It is April 2026, actually the 11th of April, and I hope everybody is well. So in this video, I'm just taking you inside some leg workouts. And a couple months ago, my brother was telling me that, sent me an article about the link between strong legs, leg strength, and improved brain health. Of course, brain health is something that is very important to me because I'm in perimenopause, I'm 51, and also mom got Alzheimer's. And obviously, all you can do is then do your best to try to work out, keep things moving so that you're not, dealing with the same thing. And I really am, a little bit cynical these days, you guys. I don't necessarily feel that exercise prevents something like that. I feel like God prevents it, and certainly this may help, but I believe in movement and that the body's the temple that God has given us, so we have to do our best to take care of the temple. So these heel raises in this squat position is very good for skating because you have to lift your heels and lift your toe and things of that sort to do certain movements. And this is just working on a skating position because I have probably been on skates just one time in 2026. And let's talk a little bit about that. So the interesting bit is once caretaking ended, I don't know, maybe a year and a half ago, I really thought I would just jump back on the skates and get right back to it. But I must admit that, grief and just moving on after, a major loss in your life, I'm sure if you've ever experienced it, you will concur that it is not so simple because a lot of skating memories were, associated with, as I fall over there, were associated with, especially inline skating. Caretaking, I put the slab on this property just so that I could go about skating here. Let me just say this for a second. You see my legs are different. So my left leg was lengthened when I was 11, and I had another leg surgery when I was 9. And so it's totally surgically repaired, and it's different from my right leg. So imagine that as a skater. I wanted to bring that up just to say that different doesn't mean incapable. And although there were quite a few moments while skating that I thought, why in the world did I take up skating of all things, with legs that are not symmetrical? Because it's actually very challenging to, because you want to try to do every movement the same on one side and on the other side. And you really do want, pretty equal leg strength in both sides, which I don't have. But once again, all that just to motivate you in case you are different or struggling with anything as well, to just let you know it is okay. We may be different and we may have different challenges, but we can still get through things. So this is once again just me earlier in the week practicing these positions because I'm like, maybe I'll put my inlines on. And so it's very important to sort of practice. So if I'm a little bit cynical these days and I don't really feel like exercise is the end all be all, all that young girl optimism that I had, believing everything would always be okay, it's definitely not the same vibe that I feel now. So then why do I love to exercise? I feel like exercise is a mood lifter, no matter what you are feeling. By the way, that's a citronella plant, which keeps mosquitoes at bay. So that's why I put that next to me. And that's actually been working pretty well. So if you see those in Home Depot or Lowe's, I would recommend getting those. I've been enjoying this rocking the, on each leg back and forth, because once again, when you're skating, you have to do that. And I noticed that I started skating at 40, now 11 years on. Some of these moves, because once caretaking got very intense, I had to leave the ice and I mostly left the inlines. I just wasn't that motivated to do it. So some of the rockering and lifts and stuff, I noticed that they were a little bit more challenging and getting in the low positions and lunges. And so I've been working a lot on lunges too. I'm not doing any lunges in this video, but these have been so cool the past month or so that I've worked on these. These have gotten a lot better, a lot easier to do. And so every day I just try to get up, do a little bit of, the heel lifts, the toe lifts, and, get ready in case I do decide to take more skating lessons, which would actually be so fun and such a blessing in this season, because it would be something that would just be a spark. And I feel like I need a bit of a spark, just because for me, learning something has always just brought about a great excitement, because I feel like that's why we're on the planet. Everybody has a different skill set. Everyone's doing something a little bit different. So if you can take a class, if you're feeling like myself and you've, just been through something and you're figuring it out, keeping it positive, keeping it moving, but still thinking, what, it'd be nice to do something and have a little bit of a difference in each day, and also to be able to really improve, don't sleep on taking a class, because I've found, skating classes in particular have been wonderful, although I've loved all the classes pretty much. College, going back to college for a second degree was fun. Film school was fun. I love to learn. So that is the cool thing. And at this point, there's just so many beautiful things that we can do as adults, from, swimming, running, pickleball, tennis, you can join a book club. There's just different things. Obviously, joining a book club is not physical activity, but still, if you're just looking for that sort of sense of community, or to do something with folks that love to do the same thing that you love, and reading is one of them, that could be very fun as well. So I've moved on to the slab. I did decide to get onto the concrete slab today. I've been kind of like, should I skate? Should I not skate? And I've said, Stella, you put the slab here. The slab was not cheap. Get on it, skate, and hopefully once I start doing this some more and get back into the routine of skating on a regular basis. And I was watching some videos before I got out of bed this morning on improving crossovers, although I realized nothing really translated as far as skating technique. I'm just so used to doing things the old way that this morning's video watching wasn't particularly helpful, but I still love the fact that I have taught myself many a move on skates, from just watching YouTube. So as long as I'm on the inlines, I'm like, that will be fun to continue to try to improve things, maybe practice it in my living room, and then by the time I get over here to the concrete, implement it. And skating is like anything else. It just takes a lot of work, and I think that it's just beneficial to have various things. Obviously, this spring I am enjoying planting, and that has been such a wonderfully motivating thing to just see the blessings of different crops coming to life. The watermelon plants have pretty much doubled in size. So I try to hold these leg lifts or, spiral position, for 20 seconds. I'm on my left leg now. It's a bit shakier. It's always shorter on the left side. But nonetheless, I still try my best. And so, yeah, gardening has been huge in this season. And just working on all the other little behind the scenes stuff you guys don't see, So that's my little tip, as well, that whatever it is that you enjoy doing, please do that. And also, just recognize that there's new stuff that you can try and hopefully find it exciting as well. But just don't give up. Don't succumb to, feeling like things are, not what they used to be, which means, not worth it, because that's just not the case. We are all navigating through various things and seasons, and there are many, many times that something happens, and it's true, things won't be the same, but that don't mean they won't be great. That doesn't mean that it won't be great, and it doesn't mean that we can't still have, a wonderful, exciting time moving through whatever is meant for us in this season. So, I think all of our lives, we just have to, it's like when you're a kid, you're so resilient, and, as a woman now, obviously, keeping that resilience, not getting cynical about every single thing, and instead, locking into, first of all, moving through life with gratitude, But understanding if you have a low moment or if you're feeling a little bit grumpier, it's okay. Give yourself grace. Everybody feels that and goes through it. But then it's nice to keep it pushing, keep it moving, and then just get on with the next thing that we want to do so that we can have the most fulfilling time. And I was watching this week some of the adult figure skating championships, and it was just so cool to see like different ages and their skill level. And I was like, that's so cool. I've watched it in years past as well, at least 3 or 4 times, and I find it really cool because you get to see everybody's moving and the choreography. And then also I just feel like as adults we're so many of us forget to think outside of the box and forget to lock into what matters to us, and we become group thinkers. And instead of just, if I love to skate, great. If you love something else, great. You do what you love, But I think that we have to just continue to strive to have the most fulfilling lives that we can. So that's what this week was about, or at least this video is about. In addition to all the wonderful blessings that spring brings, it's also just working through, getting back on this slab that, had some tough memories toward the end of 2024, and realizing, okay, honey, it is not 2024 anymore. We're in 2026, and I feel good, and this is a blessing to have this area. So get out there and skate. Working on 2-foot turns here. My arms are just going all over the place where they shouldn't go. But anyways, that is how it goes when you're getting back into something you haven't been doing in a while. It is going to be awkward, and that is okay. But I felt good to at least lace them up and say, you know what? This doesn't have to stay in my life. It's not about one particular activity over another. But what I do want to make sure that I'm doing is just once again, staying active and being engaged in family, engaged in love, engaged in friends, and, engaged in being impactful on the planet, and obviously engaged in serving God. All right, guys, so that is pretty much it for this video. Wherever you are, God bless you. I hope you're having the most blissful April, and I look forward to seeing you next time in the next video. Bye, guys, and thank you for watching.